G'day everybody and welcome back for more Vulcan silliness with trying to, well, arguably trying to get enough water to be able to fill a pool, and that's a bigger task than I actually appreciated. I definitely did not think it was going to be as hard as it's actually going to be. So what I've thought I'd do today is upgrade my trading setup to see if I'm wrong about something. One of the things I've been avoiding for a while is trying to buy water from traders. Because I'm like, well, shouldn't I just be able to generate the water myself? Isn't that a more reasonable thing? Isn't the trading loop of buying water just a little bit kind of boring? Also, it's kind of cool seeing the trader's screen reflected on his face. I'm not sure if that gets through on stream, but it looks kind of neat. The base does look a bit different. I will get into that shortly. The base looks a bit different because I've spent a bit of time here proving to myself a couple of things. But to begin with, I'm just going to see what this trader is that I landed out there. It's Cosmic Concoctions. I don't know what that is. But I did purchase some water in between the last stream and this one. And I purchased every single litre that the trader had for a grand total of 128 litres in my water system. There's no way I would be able to buy enough water with at least 3x3 traders to fill a pool. So the trading system was never going to be a proper solution to getting my water anyway. Oh, this is a water trader. Nice. Well, I guess I can buy another 280 litres of water. But see, 280 litres of water is not very much. That doesn't get very far when a single cube is 8,000 litres. There's such a massive scale difference there. I would have to trade so many times for that to even be vaguely conceivable as a way to get this to work. And it's just not. Which means that my water system that I was working on last time might actually be one of the better ways, but I'll go and show you guys what I did to that to improve it a little bit. How many liters to fill a cube, Shadow Drake, of water? 110 liters of water to fill a single cube of 8,000 liters. What? That doesn't sound right. 110 liters is like partly filling a moderately sized bathtub. Yeah, it's a lot of liters. I'm deliberately buying this slowly so that it doesn't explode my thing. Oh, also the comment I made last week about someone saying that the Transformers pull what they're max set to. They don't. Shadow Drake confirmed it. Thank you, Shadow Drake. They do not. They pull what they need, and only that much. Water. Moles per litre in world minimum condensation pressure. Wait. Are you saying... Did I misread what Jojo said? Sorry, 1 cubic meter equals 8,000 liters, not 10. It's not a cubic meter. These are 2.5 by 2.5 by 2.5. So that then each cube in Stationeers is not 1 cubic meter. It's whatever 2.5 times 2.5 times 2.5 is. Or maybe it's 2. Maybe it's 2 by 2 by 2. Actually, I think they're 2 by 2 by 2. Which is why it's 8,000. I think. Ah, the singing of the pipes. So, I have done some things over here. First off, let's begin with the where shall I begin? Let's begin down here. So, moles per world liter is 1.12. 56, 55. Anyway, I'm just gonna not look at the weird maths and try and figure that out right at the start of the stream. I'm just... I'm gonna make a bit of a pool and I'm gonna see how much water I've got to put in it. So, we begin with, I have automated the filling of this side of things. So this turns on whenever... This will turn on whenever this drops below 10 megapascals via this script. I've automated the combustor, which turns on whenever this is below 6 megapascals. Because this all needed to be automated. And it was all very simple scripts, so I just was like, I'm gonna do this and just get it done. But we can see, by automating this, just how little this H2 combustor is actually running. Particularly during the day. At night it runs a bit more frequently because obviously the Stirling engines are running. So then this gas mix goes from this tube into this big thing here. That didn't sound like a good thing. Which has a whole lot of water and the other things in it. To make it more water and less the other things, I have these two filtration units that are set to filter water and ditch everything else out into the atmosphere. That means that this tank, when we looked at it last week, had 24 or 25% water in it. But thanks to these filters, it's now 74%. There are also some more filters over this side. There's another 3. I've run a lot of filters. Now, I ran the filters not in line, but rather just blowing off from this, so that if the filters run out, I don't end up having any problems. The whole system still works, it's just less efficient. These will also turn themselves off if the filters run out, which means they won't empty this tank into the atmosphere. As you can see, if I pull both of these, this now says idle. If I put them back in, it now says active. So that's automatically done. It's safe. If the filters don't run out, it's all good. This hot water, predominantly hot water, now runs through all of these Stirling engines. And still comes out incredibly hot. Like, stupidly incredibly hot into this. This gets pumped into here, which I think I set up last week. I can't remember now. Gets pumped into here. But also the water condenses and goes through into the water system directly from that place where the Stirling engines jump it. Yes, these have blown cables many times, which is why we have these transformers. Because I have blown cables using these Stirling engines, yes. Also because this is much hotter than it used to be. Like, this is sitting quite hot now that I've automated the process. So yeah. But the thing that I think I've done which is really cool here, and that's not meant to be a bad pun, it's just a thing, is my pollutant cooling system, which utilizes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 large vents, large powered vents, to suck in atmosphere into this massive inline tanks. So this has so much capacity in it. And what it does is these powered vents every night will suck in cold night air, and they suck it in really quickly such that this pipe network fills up to the required pressure of 5 megapascals for the pollutant to condense, and keeps filling until it reaches 45 megapascals, which takes a bit of time. And once it reaches that level, this script opens this valve and switches them all off for 10 seconds before flipping them back on and turning this off. So then it goes through the pressurization phase again. But the 10 seconds was, I picked that because it perfectly keeps the pressure in these pipes at the pollutant condensation level. The cool thing about that is, during a night, I get over 1,000 liters of liquid pollutant. The liquid pollutant goes into this evaporator, cooling this setup so that all the water can come out of it, and also cooling this water. And this is how much water I've collected while building all this stuff and dealing with all the burnt out cables. Yeah. 788 liters. That's it. That's all. This massive system hasn't even gotten me 1,000 liters of water. What do you mean? Danny, this is not quite hot. This is so much cooler than it was. This came out at the start, this was about 170 degrees. So it had, oh no, it was over 200 degrees when I started cooling it. So this is still cooling, and still cooling quite effectively each night. So let's wait here because the temperature's dropping. So if I hang around here for a little bit, powered vents are on. Okay, cool. So we can see just how quickly this fills up with liquid pollutant, which is really nice. Also, while we're watching that, thank you BJA, thank you for the Prime sub, and thank you Yuki World for 53 months. You're welcome for the laughs, mostly probably at me, but that's still okay. Thank you Akomond, thank you for the 26 months. Thank you Bad Dog for 67 months. Jeez. What's the forecast for water? I mean, explosions are possible. I did build all of this stuff, a lot of this stuff off stream, which means there was no error checking and no certainty of how it was going to play out. And I'm about to get pushed away by that vent over there because it's opening up and cycling. And you can see that this pressure drops to, there we go, about 14. And then it starts climbing again, and we continue to get more pollutant through. And thank you, Shiro. Thank you very much for the 23 months. And thank you again for the 5 gift subs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Am I going to fix the broken pipe? No, the broken pipe's a feature. Look, it's attached to a cow. The broken pipe's a feature. You guys have been wanting me to add a broken pipe since I started this save. There it is. Yeah, it's the backup cow. So, as you can tell, this place around here is quite noisy. Because there are a lot of pollutant pipes that are a little unhappy. But yeah, I'm super impressed at how quickly I'm managing to produce liquid pollutant for the uses, for cooling uses. So that's quite nice. And if we pop back down here, I can show you just how much the combustor runs at night. But also, show you how hot this comes out. Yeah. 290 degrees. I added an extra sterling in each sequence, and it's still coming out at 290 degrees. This one is producing 280 watts. This one, 900. This one, 1.89 kilowatts, 3.57 kilowatts, 4.53 kilowatts, and 6.42 kilowatts. Each row is producing like 13 kilowatts of energy. This is spinning so fast that it looks like it's spinning backwards. It's just... And so I'm using that power that these generate to, well, power my cooling setup, which is really working quite well. Like 800 liters of hot water getting progressively cooled down to 109 degrees. There's a lot of thermal energy in 1 mole of hot water. Oh yeah, this system is absolutely power positive. I added the extra batteries because I was using up 1 large battery at night, or no, that was the power bursts that did that. The shorts that probably did that. But I added the extra batteries because I was like, well, yeah, even with these 6 powered vents, I'm still power positive. One thing I was thinking I should probably do is make some more evaporation chambers. And maybe even up the amount of pollutant that goes into this system. But honestly, it's working quite well. And if I was going to add more evaporation chambers, I do actually need more of these. The other thing I can do to make it so that less heat gets through is change this script down here. If the script that's in the H2 combustor, instead of bringing this up to 6 megapascals, takes it only to 4 megapascals, or 5. Basically, if it makes it less high pressure, then the Stirling engines will cool the gas more. But, you know, swings and roundabouts, then I get less gas through, and I'm managing to cool it anyway. The temperature of the water is dropping, so if I just leave this running for a while, I should end up with a lot of water just there. My main base doesn't need the power from these. My main base is full as well. I've just got so much power. And thank you, Sweet Orange Bunny. Thank you for the Prime sub. And thank you, Shira, for giving Shadow Drake a sub. But yeah. The evaporation chambers are cooling this. Yes, that's gone up a degree overnight. But it should drop again during the day. Once the new hot water stops coming through, then these will continue to process the remaining liters of pollutant through the evaporators, which will bring down the temperature further. Which is kind of nice. But yeah, I did this because I was like, everything's taking so long. They're making really good progress on the update. Let's try and get a bit more done. Suddenly all the extra power problems you had are completely solved by your water production. Yeah. There is a part of me that wonders, have I made this system so effective it's actually better than using, what are they called? The combustion engines? But yeah, I'm quite happy with how it's gone. I mean, these guys are still producing decent power. Whoa, these guys are producing great power. The fourth in the sequence is 1.12, 1.54, 2.12, Okay, it's 2.64. That's not exciting. They're still doing really well. Been checking my filters? Yeah, they're okay. Ish. I've got one left. I should probably make some new CO2 filters. And these filters are fine. But yeah, as I said, I did come up with a script for these, which I'll show you guys to see if you think there's anything wrong with it. I now have a script that turns off a filtration unit when its filters run out. Which I feel like is going to be a script that's going to be quite useful in a lot of places. Just as a little simple safety net of a script. Yeah. I'm coming inside, lady. It's fine. You also might notice that my suit is damaged. I fell in lava while adding the 2 extra deep mining drills to the system. Yeah, I took a lava bath. I was holding the wire cutters at the time. But the good news is, thanks to all of the stuff I've done, even gold has a little bit in the silo. And silicon has quite a bit. Yeah, it's not good. I think a lava pool or a lava pool viewing area in the hotel would make a lot of sense. Yeah, it does. Something to notify when the filters are out is probably not a bad idea, but I just wanted something that worked. Filtration shut-off. Here we go. Ta-da! That's it. I check the filter 1's quantity, check filter 2 quantities, add them together. If they're greater than 0, fine. If they're not greater than 0, turn it off. Hooray! I do like it when I do like having a script like this that's ready to just go. Yeah, I would definitely agree that Vulcan is more fun than Venus. Easier, absolutely easier, but much more fun. There are more dynamic systems in play. The static nature of Venus is what makes it less interesting. It's just hot, it's just high pressure, it's just the same all the time. Vulcan's constant change makes it much more fun because you have to come up with more dynamic systems to deal with, which is cool. All right, so I'm going to begin by expanding that pad and building a second pad and figuring out how I control landing on the 2 pads. Because from what I remember, I can have multiple landing pads connected to this. And then I'll need to figure out how I'm going to rebuild this so that I can fit a medium dish in. And then I need to decide on where the runway goes and all that sort of stuff. So, what do we got? Landing. It's just copper and steel from the electronics printer. Landing pad basic. Alright, need more steel. Simple enough. Actually, yeah, Solid, maybe I will try and control the dish with dials. That could be fun. Because I've never really set up dials. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think having the medium dish on the roof of the tower and actually build the tower up a little bit more could be a bit of fun. Gotta build the pads first, though. How hot is this? 705 Kelvin. Not hot enough. Just loving the excitement of trying new things that this playthrough has brought. Yeah, Tincho, and I think Vulcan's a big part of the trying something new side of stuff. Like, the confidence I got out of surviving Venus definitely played into having more fun here, because I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure I can fix or avoid most of the biggest problems now. There are certainly going to be some that I run into, and there's going to be carelessness that gets in the way, and of course hubris, but you know, there's still, like, I still feel much more confident than I did, which helps a lot. Yeah, I do like the idea of using dials. I can understand why solutions like using the small dish and just duplicating the small dish to the larger one can make sense, but I kind of like the idea of having my own little dials next to a computer or something like that. Dials look like a kind of fun way of doing things. Venus, so a big part of the reason I spent time off stream doing that water setup there was because I was feeling very much like I was playing on Venus again. I was in that position of spending time doing something that was probably going to take several streams to do and not really make much progress. So I was like, I'm just going to do this so that we can get back on to doing the stuff that I wanted to do. And also, I am legitimately a little concerned that I'm not progressing fast enough to get where I want to get to with this playthrough. There is a part of me, however, that is viewing this slightly differently. That's like, well, I really like the idea of running a hotel, but do I want to do that here? Or do I want to save that for with Capac? And I'm like, oh, at the very least I want to get a pool. You call this Stationeers out a system to make control panels look like control panels? Yeah, it would. It would indeed. And even control panels like in Archean. Now with the traders, am I correct in saying that there are 3x3 regular ones, there are 5x5 regular ones, and there are 6x6 regular ones, and then the rest of them require a runway? And when I say regular ones, I mean ones that don't require a runway, not ones that are easy for me to get. Yeah. So,
hunger caution.
Unless I get a large antenna, I'm probably not going to connect to the 6x6s, am I? Because I think with a medium, if I recall what people told me correctly, with a medium antenna I have to basically perfectly pinpoint a 6x6. Yeah, 6x6 and 9x9 are best interrogated by a large dish, yeah. So my thought was, I'm probably not going to contact many 6x6s, so these pads can reasonably be made just as 5x5s, and if I make a few of them, then they can all just be 5x5s. And then the runway ones will be a separate thing. Because I wanted to make a little area of pads that are all for the 5x5s and then make separate runway bits. I'm going to need a lot of these, so I'm just going to kind of leave that running. What do these need to finish? Steel sheets. Oh, and I need lots of frames too. So they need to be built on support. That's actually a decent number of frames. Let's get steel sheets. And dishes be placed in a way where the controls are inside but the dish part is outside. I didn't think they could in a way that would look decent. I get what you're getting at, Mike, so that the idea would be that these control parts are inside, the dish is outside, and I don't actually need to relay any controls because they're all just there. But I don't believe so. 5x5, I need 25 per platform. So I probably want 60 odd of these. Something like that. Let's go out and build some stuff and come back to that. I don't need to bring these walls with me. Or these pipes. Ignore the accidentally multitude of printed heavy pollutant filters. Totally didn't do that. Oops. Switch those because that's a heavy. Dunk. Yeah, don't worry, Mike. I knew what you meant. I knew you were meaning just having it so that I can cheekily have the controls available. What? How are you behind an ad? Mike, did you just refresh the stream? Should be no ad at this point. You had an ad too? What? Twitch? What are you doing? Hang on. Hang on. That's not okay. Oh, you jerk thing. Sorry. I mean, that was partially Twitch's fault, but it was also partially my fault. I was looking into something, and I had to click on the ads manager and enable it. And I must have forgotten to disable it. Apologies about that. It is now disabled again. Oh yeah, and if you subbed, you never get ads. You should not get ads. If you ever get ads when you sub, Twitch has broken something bad. Thought Twitch was always broken? Yeah, kinda. Yeah, Danny, you could go a full spare suit instead of the spare canister. I haven't actually been carrying the spare canister for a while now. Ever since I got the suit exchanger, I haven't bothered with it because I've just not needed it. Because I've been spending so much more time inside, and the base is just so much better set up now that I'm not running into the same problems with my waste canister that I used to. Thanks, Speedy G. Thank you for the prime sub. What I was doing with the silly ads manager, I was trying to figure out at what point does Twitch stop being stingy with its ad revenue? As in, not that there's much of it, I was just curious. As in, they give a 55% split at some point rather than a 30% split. And that point is 3 minutes of automatically scheduled ads per hour. Which felt like a lot, and I was like, yeah, no. It's the automatically scheduled nature of it that annoys me. Like, if I could run it and I could use that as a way to be like, alright, I need to stretch, I need to look after myself so that I'm more comfortable and don't end up with shoulder pains and things like this. Great! But the fact that it has to be scheduled is like, ew? I think that'll probably be enough for a little while. We'll stop there. I'm thinking 3 5x5 pads is enough. I'll leave these going. I'm gonna need a whole heap of sheets. Yeah, compared to broadcast TV, not that much. That is true. But let's be honest, broadcast TV for a long time has been terrible. No, Gate, you can't. You cannot run your own to meet the 55%. You can run enough to get rid of the pre-rolls. That's fine. And to manage that. But if you are looking at Twitch getting less of it, no. Okay. So now, we need to weld up the rest of this bit. Now I have a 5x5. But Gate, I thought as you did, I thought that you could run them manually and still get that. And that's why I tested it, and that's why I was stupid and accidentally left it on. Because I was like, oh. Just for full transparency on this, if I quickly do the maths in my head, the ad revenue from Twitch for a month, getting just shy of double of it, because 30% to 55% is close to double, would get me an extra, like, $50 a month. That's not nothing. But that's a lot of ads to put people through, and I'm not willing to do that. Thanks, Silly String. Thank you for 39 months. Unless Twitch's new ad system counts to works in that way. Because they have a new ad idea that they're testing. Which doesn't seem terrible if it's replacing the interrupting ads. Which is where they just run a video alongside. That ad video is muted, not the stream audio. Thank you, Silly String, for 39 months. And did I see? I thought I maybe saw something about Twitch allowing people to play back a bit. To do a little replay, I think, instead of having to go to the clips manager to do it. Which seems like a great idea. But yeah, I don't mind. Like, I think using ads during breaks is actually a really sensible way to do it from a streaming perspective. If I'm watching someone and they've gone on a break and then they slam the 3-minute ad thing, it's like, yeah, fair enough, whatever. I just hate the way that, because it's live content, you can't control where those ads are going, and you don't know that nothing's going to happen during it. And unlike YouTube, where you can just go, well, that ad just covered up something, I'm just going to roll back and play back at 1.25 to catch up, or 1.5 to catch up. Yeah, Saren, that's the type of ad I'm talking about. I doubt it, but it'd be really great if that type of ad, where the muted video plays alongside the stream, replaced the interrupting ads. But I almost guarantee it's just going to be in addition to rather than a replacement of. Yeah, Yamino. YouTube's doing annoying things with their ads too. And there are more checkboxes that I have to remember to click so that they don't do it. I accidentally... My Roadcraft VOD from the other day ended up having 10,000 ads on it. Yeah, YouTube, we're going to make ads less interruptive. Also YouTube, we're going to play ads for some people every 3 to 4 minutes. I'm sorry, what? It is like YouTube, US TV ads. It is 100% like that. Shouldn't we be trying to make these platforms better than US TV? I don't want a future where I'm trying to describe all of the horrible side effects of some prescription medication that nobody needs. There is no... the future where every content creator has to learn how to comfortably say anal leakage is not a good one. But at least those ads are illegal in Australia, so I don't have to worry about that. Alright. So I think, if I'm recalling correctly, I need to have a 5-block gap. A 1-block gap between my pads. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I just get to say it for fun, exactly. I'm thinking I might move my interface bits to the backs of the pads, so the fronts of the pads remain clear. Like if I put it at the back corner here. Might be best. Marcus, even in the days of Stargate, like SG-1, an hour-long time slot was 42 minutes of actual TV. Like, it was... it's so bad that I know over here, I'm pretty confident that's why we had, like, little news spots during shows, because they couldn't put that many ads in. And so they had an hour time slot allocated for these American TV shows, but there's not enough TV there. So they needed like a little 3-minute filler, so I think they'd often put like a little news break in. Oh, that was close. I think this is gonna look cool with several pads. Bonk. Bye. Why not do more with the power from the water side of things? Because I can't be bothered. I still haven't got water cool enough to drink, so I still don't feel like I've got so much power over there that I can do whatever I want with it. Because I should, if I'm going to be doing more over there, I should be doing, well, more to cool the water first. And I didn't want to just spam air conditioners. Yeah, Nuki World, that was the other thing that I did. Yeah, that's true. I kind of forgot about that. It's been so long since I watched broadcast TV. They would also do little spots showing this is what's coming later in the day. Steel frames, make frames, please. Oops. Missed. No, Raptor, I have the landing direction the way I want to have it. I want them landing coming in this way. That's the direction I want them, because I'm going to be setting up the pads in a line down there, so I want them to come in that way. So they're all standing there in a line when I've got multiple traders standing there. That was intentional. Do I have any more steel frames around here? Aha, I do. Yeah. I'll take these out and go into another batch. I'm gonna do the control room soon, but I kind of want to get these down and get one of the larger traders in, and then get a bit of a better idea of scale. I also have to probably completely rework my power system for the trader side of stuff. Am I going to build any pressurized hangars? That's a firm maybe. I don't know. I kind of want to see how I go with the multiple 5x5 landing pads first, before I start thinking too far ahead. I mean, the thing is, with the massive amount of resources that I have now, I can think of building something quite large. Like, I don't have to really hold back. It's not like I'm going to suddenly run out of steel or something like that. Yeah. I could run the trading platform off the water side of things. That's valid. Not run it off the base, but the base has so much excess power as well. The base isn't struggling for it. Thank you, Capival. Thank you for 41 months. Thank you very much. Yeah, I need to make a line of frames behind the pads, that's true. Try my best to keep my habit that I've mostly stuck to with this series of laying down more frames than I actually need. Because when I do that, everything is much easier to move around. Even if it takes a little bit more effort to set up in the first place. Might get in the way of the resort view. True. I don't even know where I'm actually going to put the resort yet. Hangar though. Do I want to make a pressurized hangar? I was thinking... Let's see. I'll just get rid of this bit. Fill in this gap, because why not? I love that this basic cooling system I've got here still is doing more than enough cooling for my base. The frames under the pads, I haven't been welding them airtight, I've just been welding them regular. The frames in front of the pads I've been welding airtight because it looks better. I think. But what I was just thinking is... I feel like my original plan with these trading platforms was to use this landing area as a way to separate the production side of the base from the hotel side of the base. So if I place down three... Yeah, probably just 3 pads is enough. Although, how long's the longest runway I need? But yeah, if I place down 3 or maybe 4, and then I put a hangar one at the end, and the hangar one is the one that goes to the actual hotel base. The nuke is about to go off. Yes, it is. Yeah, I figured the landing pads wouldn't be airtight. You'd have to airtight it through other blocks. And I'm just gonna weld these up. Oh, right, hang on. I probably want to have the... I'm gonna need to have, like, water outputs and gas in outputs for each of these. I don't think I'm gonna be selling any of those sorts of resources to them, so I probably don't need to worry about inputs, but I'm gonna need to have all those things and move them all to the back, which means I need another row beyond this. Yeah. Definitely best to have them off the back then. Because I need that. I'll need space to run the pipes and cables and things. Oh, this is going to use up an awful lot of steel. I'm probably going to need to make more from my auto lathe. Can you name the different landing pads? I don't know. I don't know whether you can name them in any way that interfaces with the trading computer. But apparently you can. Catwalk behind the pads with pipes under the catwalk. Yeah, I could put a little raised catwalk running along the back of the pads. How are we doing for steel here? Still got a decent amount. And that's still enough of these. Okay. Back I go. Dragoon, you can't connect the pads. If you connect the pads, they don't work. Unfortunately, I was sad when I found that as well. I wish there was a connector piece that allowed all the pads to use the same equipment, but you need independent equipment for each pad. Which equally I can understand from a gameplay perspective is better in some ways, but it's also like... have to repeat a setup? Adds a little bit of complexity, but not a huge amount. Really is just repeating the same task. Okay. Probably going to run my welder out this time. Worst part is not using the same runway for multiple pads. Yeah. Part of me is thinking that the way to go with the runway is to make the runway, and the only runway, into a pressurized hangar. So I just have a single runway that runs into a pressurized hangar at the far end. And the planes come down over my production base. Well, do you think the flat walls would blend the gap between the pads? They're not as thick. I think they'll only be as thick as the lower part. So that might actually work well. Still creating some visual distinction. Yeah, my other nuke batteries are in things. Like my grinder. No, my drill just has a large. They're in stuff. I don't know. What's the... What's the largest runway that the game requires? Is any of that actually listed in the Stationpedia? Oh, what's this 2x2 centerpiece? Huh. Twenty is the length. Okay. So maybe 4 of these pads would be best then. Because I could have 4 of these pads, which gets me 20 blocks, and then I have the runway so that the planes come down over here and land and go down into the hangar at the far end. Which could look quite cool. Probably over here though, so I'm not landing in front of the doorway and I've got this nice open area to walk between them. So that could be nice. No, there's... Taxiing is how a plane moves on the runway. That's what the taxi is about. It's not about a taxi cab transport thing. When a plane is on the ground and driving, it is taxiing. Just get rid of these overhangs. Tidy it up a bit. I'm glad the mountain doesn't go out too far along here. This is going to be a lot of digging. At least I don't have to worry about actually collecting the resources. Prefer when planes tuk-tuk to the gate. Oh man, can you imagine how slow that would be? And the horrible music you'd hear? And the poor people doing that on like... on the tarmac in Canada? And cold places like that? Mining charges, though fun, just take so much time. Because I gotta make them. Although, having said that, this mountain is getting worse, not better. In terms of what I gotta clear out, so maybe... mining charges would be an idea. Where do I make them, and what do they cost? Iron, gold, and... oh, it's a bit of silicon. Nah. It's quite a bit of silicon, because I'm not going to make the security printer. I would make the... I would make it from the tool manufacturer, and that's quite a lot of silicon. Yeah, you could probably try and set up, if the ground were deeper, like if you were starting at the top of a mountain, you could probably mine into channels and have it automatically get picked up at the bottom, and it would be a much more pleasant experience to do that than it is to do the same process in, say, Space Engineers. Because at least here, although in Space Engineers for mining it doesn't matter. I was more thinking about grinding stuff. You don't have to hear inventory full, inventory full, inventory full. But also, objects don't tend to delete themselves here anywhere near as often. Portable tank mountain demolition. Yes. Set up a time bomb. So I basically have an uninsulated portable tank that I pressurize inside, then I bring out here during the hot day, set up, wait for it to explode. Feels like a lot of work. I'm so excited for the new terrain for this. The patch notes have been suggesting that they are in fact doing the thing that I hoped they would do, where deep miners have optimal locations on the map to be placed. I don't know if they're only going to be able to be placed in those areas for specific resources, but optimal is quite nice. Because then you got a nice reason for building multiple bases and transporting materials between them. Although that then means we need a rail system that isn't Larry. And that has its own downsides compared to Larry. Uh-oh. Oh, caught myself that time. Because we need a way to transport stuff quickly and that uses larger grid pieces. That doesn't operate on the small grid. Oh. Glad you're having fun with it, Tech Op. I suspect the Unity situation is okay, because they've still been posting updates since the deadline, and I suspect, and I may not be right here, this is pure speculation on my part, I suspect that after Rocket's initial posts about the issues, it all became a contractual dispute between two parties and thus lawyers. And that Unity made the mistake of going after a company that wasn't just going to roll over with an automated system that was rife for abuse. Thanks, ATR Andy. Thank you for the Prime sub. How much is a Larry rail? 3 steel? But I think you need something faster than a Larry. Larry's moved too slowly. So I think something you can place down that's a large grid rail block that moves maybe not as fast as the Stationeer does, or maybe even faster. Could be okay. Something faster that you can even make as little passenger carriages on it. Monorail, but only Larry can load / unload. Oh, so you have to have loading Larrys at each end. Yeah. I mean, if rockets get chutes, then trains should probably get chutes too. But they could make the load-unload pace slower somehow, maybe. You're starting to like the fill a rocket with cargo and send it back and forth between bases. Yeah. Yeah. the rocket launch idea is not a bad one, to my mind. It gives an extra use for rockets. If there are rockets, though, you have to be able to send yourself. Right? Okay, that's enough for one more pad. Is that almost enough for two? Almost. Dean did mention some ideas he had around where rocketry was going, but I haven't heard anything on them for a while, so I would take them as just these are some ideas they have, not these are ideas that they're definitely implementing. One of which was allow you to use rockets to move yourself to other bases on other bodies. But I haven't heard anything on that for quite some time, so I suspect it's at the very least on the back burner, but also possibly just one of those, yeah, this would be cool. We'd really like to do this, but we may not ever be able to. A mini robot like the Amy, but for transport purposes. I mean, yeah, an automated rover is also another decent option. I think the reason I like the idea of rail-based transport is that we've kind of already got it a little bit. In the way that the Larrys work. And it might be nice to integrate with that in some way, to have some more sizable ones. It also means that we don't have to wait for them to figure out how we do pathing. And I don't want to have to do pathing myself. Doing pathing by setting out a rail to me seems like the ideal way to do pathing. I should really stack these in my hand rather than stacking them in the thing. Alright. That's cleared up. I don't know, Scarrow. I don't think a rover is more cool. I think a rover, an automated rover, I don't think that is more cool than a train. Having a rover that you can drive yourself alongside a train that's automated, that's more cool. I don't think an automated rover is more cool than a train, actually. That's probably because I've played too many games where an automated rover would absolutely, 100% without a doubt, be cheated to make it work. What was beeping? Oh, that's a lot of frames. I need more shelves. Sweet. No, Danny. No, it is not Shadow's influence. I have always, like, the innumerable hours of Transport Tycoon that I played. Also, I had train sets as a kid. And scale. Oh. Don't think that went in. Oh no, it did. Okay. So we'll have some not off-gassed ores in here, but that shouldn't be too bad. Man, you can hear so much of that pipe groaning. And more stuff to place. You're not wrong, Karmok. Shadow is like a zombie, except she says trains instead of brains. I mean, transit. There's something just meditative about the way that you can, like, when a train's set up right in a game like Space Engineers, it is just meditative in the way that it runs along the tracks. Just watching it. Just watching something conform and move around. It's just nice. And man, I have so many memories of falling asleep on trains going to school. I think that's why, one of the reasons I like them is it's just, they're just so easy to fall asleep on. Was that silver I threw? The stuff that I threw was lead, I think. Just figured there was no point holding onto it. The other stuff I picked up and put away because it was going to be quicker to put it away than it was to throw it in the hole. When tidying up is quicker than being messy. How many we got? Yep, still more. Still many, many more. I'm just... I mean, now that I think... The more I think about it, the more... I just want something that I can see moving in the world to transport the materials. And I think... the idea of like, hundreds of meters of chutes is just the worst thing I can imagine. So any solution other than that feels like a decent one to me. Alright, now for welding this nonsense. You can hire Capac and some of chat to drive things back and forth for you. Well, I mean, at least Capac wouldn't get lost. So if... an idea I've been toying with, and which I've submitted to Twitch if, for the Twitch front page thingy, just because why not? May as well apply for those things each time. Was a concept that I'm not sure whether it'd even work for Stationeers, but I think it could be fun to try, which is start a brutal save using the new voice mod that allows you to have proximity-based and directional voice chat and then radio voice chat. But start it with you guys. And see how quickly we can get to a self-sustaining base with all of us dying horribly because there's not enough food to go around. That sort of thing. Just as like a one-off longer stream than usual and see how well it went. Obliterax, do you know why it doesn't end up getting griefed? Is because I don't open it up publicly when I do these things, because I'm not an idiot. Of course, if I did it public and just anyone could join, absolutely there would be. I would do it the same way I do all my servers, which is... Oh wait, I don't need to weld up all of these ones. Supporter only, so that there's a nice filter in place to stop the biggest jerks. You say that, but you get griefed every time you play with the Capac. I don't know that that's true. I think Capac and I troll each other. I don't think we grief each other. Or at least we both make conscious effort not to grief each other, just to troll at a level that we both know the other can handle. That's the goal, usually, anyway. One hopes after the many decades we've been friends that we don't get it wrong that often, and if we do get it wrong, it's not wrong for it's not wrong very far. Oops, wrong button. Oh yeah, so I redid my plants, and what do you guys think of them? I made it so they were all tidy, but I also painted them yellow. So I was like, I want a different color. The green was a bit much. And then I put my little potatoes around here so that they were nearer the thing, and so that I didn't have to climb over potatoes to get to my drinking fountain. Yes, I put a floor down. There is also floor in more places, like up here and through there. Also, I finished off the doubling of the windows, so they're all complete inside and out. One of the reasons I think this base looks better than the Venus base is that this base has windows. Windows make an enormous difference. Where am I at? Need more steel. Let's go get more steel. All of the steel. Do. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 139 still in the silo. Yeah, Marcus, I did a bit off stream this week. Just trying to get myself in a better position to do more fun stuff. Not realizing that I was actually prepping myself to do a whole lot of Let's Place down a whole line of frames. Whoops. Should have placed these frames down. Might have missed that. Would your power supply that you have set up here work on Venus? No. Not at all. So the one I have here is reliant on temperature changes, day to night, and Venus doesn't have temperature changes. And we wait for that to get all in there. How hot is it? It's probably not going to reach 900 Kelvin by the time all this is in there. I mean, you could use Stirlings to make power on Venus by using rockets to bring back stuff that you then off-gas while cool. I guess. All the other things I can think of sound super cheesy. Although I do wonder whether if I'd been combusting more water, whether I would have had enough heat to Stirling engine down to Venusian temperatures and get enough power from that, since I am getting a decent amount. Oh, this is almost getting there. Let's just put a little bit of gas in.
Hunger caution.
There we go. What do you mean close the furnace room's roof? Oh, no. No, I did not. That glass pane is still missing. I've kind of left it because I haven't needed to close it. That's kind of where it ended up coming to. Let's grab those. Leave that printing more, because I'm going to need more. Do I have some over here? Oh, I do have some. Excellent. Nope, those are iron. Go away, iron. Yay. So many bits. I'll eat before I go out, otherwise I'm going to have troubles. Now that I'm power positive for the foreseeable eternity, when I get rid of the solar panels. No. No, I'll leave the solar panels. The solar panels are a nice safety net, and I don't really... Like, maybe I'd make another greenhouse with a separated room down the end of this and extend it out further to produce more oxygen, but I'm not in any rush to do that. Keep going with the trader. One, two, three, four, five. One, two. Oh, look at that. How good am I? Nailed it. I wasn't even counting. Oh, yeah. Being buffeted around every time I drill anything. At least I'm not cracking my suit. Oh yeah, I cracked my suit too. That's how I damaged my wire cutters. That wasn't in lava. I cracked my suit. So the bit I was showing you guys earlier where I have that valve open when the tanks that are connected to the valve are at 45 megapascals. I was standing in the wrong place when that happened and got thrown into a wall. So, I'm looking forward to Catback and I, when we next play, going back and doing the stuff that we did when we were on Europa and for like the last half hour of the stream, just being stupid. And seeing the stupid things we can come up with. Because that was really fun. The fact that I still remember that years on as a thing that was really fun, I think says it was worthwhile doing. survived using a little bit of my fancy tape and a pill. Yes, the good times. Back when I thought that Europa was difficult to play on. Because I had no idea what I was doing. Back when I played elevator music because my airlocks were so slow. Yeah, Marcus, I don't know how I survive some of the things I do when I fall off things in Space Engineers. It's weird. Lowen, I worry for your party guests if you think that elevator music is party music. Alright. That's all that welded up. And the whole path is welded up. So let's get the rest of these out and see how many more I need. I'm gonna need so many runway bits. Because I want to actually make the runway, not just make it a single block wide this time. In fact, I should probably start making those too. Thanks, Radical Leo. Thank you for the Prime sub. Oops, I think I went too far. Oh no. I didn't? I can't. What's wrong with me? Oh. I've done this pattern repeated, but do I want a more interesting pattern? Should I put something else on the outside? Let's play around with this one. Oh, hang on. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. Just pull up these corner ones. Leave that, that, and that. Yep. Angle grinder. Okay, so line. This is what I was thinking of doing. Put the line ones like this. And then diagonal ones like this. Just for making it a little more interesting. So that's what it looks like instead. Too much? Is it too much? Do I get rid of the square on ones? Yeah. Alright, you guys are happy. Whatever. Hello. Cool. Grinder. I was thinking if I get rid of these ones... I guess I'm not going to really see it from above much. So it's more to give this front edge some detail, I guess. Does make building the things more complicated. It's a bit annoying. Alright, so I need 1, 2, 3, 12 plus 1, 2, 3. So I need 15 more at least. Plus I'm going to need more for the other end. Like for the hangar-based one. So 15 more landing pad pieces. It's not too bad. Shouldn't take too long to make. Now I think... Oh, yeah. Okay, atmospherics are a separate thing. Right. Right. Do I have... I thought I maybe had some landing pad bits around. I know I had heaps on my Venus base, but I thought I had some here. Yeah, there we go, there's one. That would be the one I'm remembering. Man, definitely need more storage. I'm also going to need to print off a whole bunch of cable. I've got a few up there, but certainly need more. Hey, Urban Hangman. Welcome, Raiders. What were you guys up to? It's another 10, need another 4 before I can at least finish the pads that I'm working on. How much gold is in this? 56, that's enough. Hey, Morthus. How's it going? Yeah, Snudget, I'm not sold fully on the corner bits. They do look like maybe a bit too many lines, but I think the corners probably are better than the mid sections on the sides. Oh, you're playing some Out of Ore. Good. It's a great game. I feel no I have no issues recommending people try Out of Ore, since I wasn't given it for free. I wasn't encouraged to play it by the devs in any way. I found out about it and went, oh, this looks interesting. Bought it, played it, and have enjoyed it. And I also reckon it's one of those games where you can easily find out if it's suited for you by playing it for less than 2 hours, and if you don't like it, stopping there. Yeah, I'm actually going to change these. They feel too much. There we go. And up. Yeah. I am doing many upgrades. Building 4 5x5 pads. And hopefully a runway too. Although I'm not sure how much of the runway I'm actually going to do now. I think I might be best off trying to get this system up and running first. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, that's much tidier. Yeah, I like that. I'm glad I got rid of the extra bits. That looks tidy and purposeful, whereas the other one looked just a bit much. Diagonals. This is something TFE would design. I'm not sure TFE would bother. Trying to decide whether I think he would actually even do it at all. Oh no, some of these are... I don't know which ones need to be redone. So I'm just gonna weld them all up. TFE would have probably made this and then been like, you know what? This is too tidy. I'm gonna annoy Splitsy, and I'm gonna do this asymmetrically because I can. Not because I want to, but because I can. Alright. No. I want the traders coming in this way. I don't want them landing over the walkway. I want them coming in this way. If we find out that they crash into this mountain, that's fun. Hopefully I've removed most of the Doom voxels by the time I actually get them landing. So there are a few Doom voxels here. I've never had a trader crash, so I'm genuinely not going to be disappointed if one does. Alright, landing pad, data and power. On each one in the same spot. And I'll put a fresh one here as well. Yeah. What do you need? Cable coils. I need more cables. Yeah. Look at that. I'm gonna need lights out here. That's what I need as well. Need lights running down. So I can actually see. A tank for each pad? Yeah, I was tossing up whether I put a tank for each pad. It would be nice to not have to do the buy in tiny pieces method of buying. It's a little bit annoying. Nope, wrong thing. I need to make a whole bunch of pipe, which means this needs more silicon in it and more steel. That can stop, because I have just built too many of those. Whoops. Oopsie. And then we need cable, heavy, done. So let's go get some silicon and steel for the pipe printer. I don't know what the new dish takes to make. Not too worried because it's pretty easy for me to make most of this stuff now. $250 pipes, yeah, that's probably enough. Steel. Just make a smaller batch. Actually, no. Make a decent sized one anyway. Oh, I can make every alloy if I want to. It's just a matter of wanting to. How hot is this? 833. Is the large dish as tortuously slow compared to the medium as the medium is to the small? I believe so. Medium dish. Steel, electrum, and solder. I'm all sorted. Hey, Zuriel. Thank you for 35 months. What am I working on? Landing pads. Trader stuff. Trying to upgrade my trading system. Because one thing I'm curious about is the volume of water purchasable from the higher level traders. I believe it's the same as the lower level traders, but I don't recall for sure. And so I thought, why not set up a bigger trader thing and see if I can get some 5x5s in at least. And see if I can buy enough water to make enough stuff so that I can get my pool. But also I kind of needed to have the traders in so that then building the hotel at the far end of the trading setup made sense. Oh. Oh no. Large is painfully more slow compared to medium than medium is to small. Oh, delightful. There's RNG involved. All traders have the same limit, but the farther traders can roll closer to the upper limit. Okay. When you say the further traders, does that mean the larger ones are further? Or do you mean the 6x6 and 9x9 fancy ones? It can take over 5 minutes to swing the large 180. Oof. The 6x6 and 9x9 fancy ones. It's annoying. Oh, what the heck. May as well make a full kilogram of steel if I'm making steel. When you use... How did multiple dishes even work? Everyone keeps suggesting multiple dishes as an option, but do their effects combine? Or do you have to pick which antenna you're then going to move and hope that it's the one that's the closest to that thing? You switch between them to see which is closer. Okay, so you switch until you find one that's closest to that, then you move it until it gets specifically so you don't have to move too far. Alright. So that makes me wonder. Like if I use a medium dish to nail down the position of something, could I then... Oh, Space Springs. Let's go get some more water. Oh wait, how much money do I have? Not a lot. Never mind. None of those have anything useful. $50, $50, $50, $50, $50, $37. Okay. So the platforms themselves don't need a whole lot of power, right? It's just the dish that needs lots of power. Because what I was thinking was, I use a medium dish to pinpoint where something is, because a small dish isn't going to be able to find all of the traders, right? Like it won't even pick up the fancier ones. Not that it can't. So I was thinking a medium one can pick up everything, even if it can't lock on. At least I could find the exact angles and then have a large one kind of following it so it hopefully gets there eventually. Cool. Let's go out there and put these power systems in. Either way, at the moment I'm just planning on putting in a medium dish, not a large. Medium dish is step 1. Large is on the drawing board. To be considered. Landing. $10 watts. Okay, so these really don't pull much power at all. So I should... what about the atmospherics? Liquid output. 10 watts. Yeah, okay. So none of this stuff pulls much power. So I can have a single small transformer down the end here that's powering everything. And that shouldn't be a problem. But I need the data to be isolated, don't I? Because I need the data connection to go up to the computer, so I want the data separate to the power. That's annoying. Means I'm gonna have to do stuff like this. Oh, hang on, no. No. I'm not gonna have the transformer here. I'm gonna have the transformer, I'm gonna have a transformer set up that hooks up to that computer and hooks up to all of these, so they're all on the same thing. So if I put the transformer a bit further away, I can then cable up to the computer control room wherever I end up putting it with this new setup. And it'll be the dish that's on its own independent network. Yeah. That's the best way for me to do it. So many cables to lay. Now, I'm not planning on buying or selling anything gaseous at this stage. The only thing I was planning on buying was liquid water. I wasn't thinking I would try and get myself to a point where I've cooled down anything to sell it, even. So I will probably just put liquid pumps on each of these. Does the dish need its data connection hooked up to the computer as well? I would assume so. I would assume so. That's probably enough pipe for now. Need liquid pipe. That's enough of those for a while. That has run out of gold. Let's get some more gold. One thing I like about large is if its power is high enough, it can basically signal any small craft pretty much anywhere regardless of how far out of alignment it is. It's rare I have to realign or switch to one of the others. Yeah. That's sort of almost true with the medium as well. The medium doesn't need to move much to get the smaller craft. But I guess if the large can hit the 5x5s and 7x7 runway ones without moving much, that's probably not too bad either. Shadow Drake, I'm not sure I'm going to worry about chickens here. I kind of want to leave something that I haven't done for after the update. I've never done anything with chickens. And I think it'd be hilarious to do stuff with chickens for the first time while having Capac panicking about the chickens. So I kind of want to leave that as a thing to learn in co-op with that distraction. So I feel like that's more fun for everyone. And it also gives Capac and I a nice goal to work towards. That's chicken farmers. We'll be Martian chicken farmers. So, I was going to make something from this, and it was... runway. Heal. Oh no, it was atmospherics. I want the atmospherics. Need 4 of these. Or 8 of these. See how I go. Yeah, the stuff that's in the beta build channel on their Discord does seem promising for a potentially not too far away update. Like, what was the last... They've been doing a lot this week. They've even updated a build this morning. But there were some comments about... Actually, that's enough. There were some comments about... Oh, wait, no. I do want more. Artists still working on some stuff. So I think we're still going to wait for the art team to do their stuff. Once the tech is all in place. So I'm not sure how long that takes. Herding catback while he's herding chickens would be hilarious. Yeah. Absolutely. Like, I can't see any downsides to learning about chickens while having catback screaming about the chickens in the background. This seems perfect. Alright, liquid output. One liquid output per thingy. We'll have a liquid storage. Wait, is there no liquid storage? Huh? How do store liquid? I thought there was liquid storage. Gases and liquids intermix. Okay. So I just have a gas storage then. That works. There we go, even better than the cliff. They're landing over the tanks. There is no liquid storage. Alright, so the other one would be gas output just in case I buy some gas. It's almost certainly not going to happen, but I think more equipment at the back of these looks good anyway. Adds some interest. Cool. So what do these need to be built? Liquid volume pumps and kit tanks, just the regular tanks. How much? 400 liters. Yeah. Solid amount of water. $800 steam. Like buying $800 steam. Would I buy steam? Dunno. Dunno whether I would. Liquid pump. Oh, I need more iron. And I need more gold. Would Valve sell steam? Probably not. You'd license it. And then when you die, no one in your family would be able to take ownership of it. Trading steam sounds like snake oil. Iron. Alright. Man. So many times I should have built deep miners in my games. Oh, the resources. The ease. Temperature is too low. Yeah, it's amazing the scale at which you feel comfortable building when you don't have to think about the resources. There are aspects of it that make me a little sad that I do it this way, because it's like, well, yeah, now it is literally, it's not about what resources I have, it's just about, I mean, the only meaningful resource now is time. So how many pumps did I actually get? 2? Yep. Boom. Finally made a pressurized room for my Sterlings, running off the exhaust from CCs. It just channels back to the batteries. We're running. The centrifuges and deep miners, but the infrastructure for the room cooling is less than power created, so it does gen quite a bit. Yeah. I feel like there is a lot of exploitable stuff around Sterlings in the right environments. That's what I felt about using the asteroid scanner for the first time. Yeah. The radio spectrometry mod for Space Engineers is just done so well. I didn't make the tanks. Yay! This is going to look cool with 4 traders landed at it. Once I can set that up. Which shouldn't be too far away. Finish off the tanks. Finish off the pipes. Which is mainly, really, connecting up to this water pipe. And not really worrying about the others. Because to this stage, I still haven't actually used the gas trading. So we need tank. Get tank. Need 4 of you. I'll put the pump away up here so I can carry more pipe. I wonder if these will stay standing upright with the way my front door works. Or is there going to be enough wind down here that they'll pop out? They'll fall over. Honestly, Mike, that doesn't sound like all that much fun to build. A system where I can press a button and then wait for the ore to turn up. Rather than just walking up to it and grabbing the specific ones. I think if anything, what I would prefer is just piping the outputs of the silos so that they're all nice and neatly next to each other, so that it's easy to grab quickly the ones you want right next to the furnace. I think that would be my preferred way. The idea of selecting them on a screen feels so clunky in the way it does it in Stationeers that I think what I'd feel after going through the pain of setting it up is just mostly disappointment. I think I'd be sad that I put all that time in and the end result was actually worse than what I had before. Corin, the game has a start condition literally called Brutal Start, which is what I used for this. And I've just stuck with naming the videos that because conventions. That's all. Brutal Start, you start with far less material that you have to build up from. And that's what I did here, up to the insane levels that I have now. Yep, landing pad has a lot less stuff. And the equipment that you have is, I think, of lower quality as well. So you don't start with the fancy heat-resistant suit. So the beginning of the game is quite tough. And can easily go wrong and end up with you dead. And I'm playing this hardcore, so if I die, that's it. Oh, hello, Storm. Yeah, if you watch the initial streams of this, you'll see how quickly I had to push to get things done in time. It was it has some intense moments with the pace you have to move at. And it definitely took me several tries when I was playing this with Shadow before that, till I had an idea of what I needed to do to survive. Definitely felt a bit roguelite there for a while. Actually, more roguelike, because I didn't keep any progress from one to the next, except for my knowledge. Not that such categories are really all that important to get specifically right. Close enough is probably good enough. Yep, I did do some things wrong at the start. Well, we got here, so I'm pretty happy. Oops. So many pipes to lay. Right, let's send away this trader because they don't need to be hanging around here. Am I to believe Capac ran out of hard drive space for AA recordings? He dumped a bunch of VODs on YouTube. Yeah, Kalzamar, I think he just he messed up. I hope he's taken those down. Because yes, Capac did upload full AA recordings to YouTube. I had a look on his channel and I couldn't see them, so I think he's taken them down? Yeah. I hope he has. Can you guys let me know if you... Gazmo, can you let me know if he has or not? I mean, not only did he publish them, he also went live during one recording as well. Like, we're recording, and I get a DM from Shadow saying, by the way, Capac's live. I'm like, oh, is he now? That's not good. Yeah, he put a whole bunch of VODs up at once. Just something I encourage him to do, but you should really be doing it consistently. Not just sporadically and dumping 10,000 things at once. So that's where you stuff up. Yeah, I'd prefer not to show how the sausage is made. For AA. I mean, I'm not going to go writing an NDA or silliness like that, but I'd prefer it not to be public. Makes it easier to suspend your disbelief if you don't know how things are done. I mean, the vast majority of the most interesting things that happen in AA are not remotely organized, scripted, or set up in any way, shape, or form beyond, hey, let's put us three idiots under time pressure. AA is Assertive Acquisitions, which is my soon-to-return cooperative Space Engineers series with Capac and TFE. That is 100 episodes long at this stage until we get the next one out. Capac shouldn't have any AA's Poisonous Dwarf at all. Yeah, just a lot of wrong way painting and things. Yeah, I think he removed it once he was told that he'd done it. Let's make it a bit easier to place these pipes. Honestly, if I decide to buy a different gas, I'll be very surprised. If I decide to buy anything except for water, I'll be very surprised. I don't know why I'm placing these gas pipes. It seemed like a good idea at the time, but it probably wasn't. Let's call it, I placed them for aesthetic reasons. That's my excuse for doing anything dumb. That still looks nice. Now, there we go. Heavy cable. To buy pollutant and release it? Yeah. Yeah, sometimes they have enough pollutant that it gets you a little bit of cash that way. Storm's over. Nice. Didn't you want to move that transformer? No, no, it's where I need it. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to figure out where I'm getting power from for this. Oh, inside. Cool. You get cash for releasing pollutant? Yeah, so some traders will be carrying pollutant and will pay you to release it. Where does that pipe go? Cable go, I mean. Oh, up to that light. Okay. That's fine. So I will cut this here. And then I'll reconnect it at the other bit. Yep, we got an answer on the transformer power consumption question, and it does behave as it should behave. Shadow Drake went and did some testing straight after the stream and confirmed that they do, in fact, behave in such a way that they only pull the power they need. So thanks, Shadow Drake, for doing that. Much appreciated. Lord Baltha, no, I don't really, apart from Space Engineers, there aren't any real, affiliate link type things for any of this stuff. The only time I really have sort of links that it helps me for you guys to click is when I'm doing a sponsored stream. And if I'm doing a sponsored stream, then if you click on those links, it makes me look like I'm doing the things well. The sponsored and happy. But beyond that, no, there's not really anything. Like Amazon affiliate links or any of that stuff. Yeah, because I know one of the metrics that they keep track of for sponsored streams is how many times have people clicked on these links that you share. I'm not sure they care about it much, but I know they keep track of it. Because I do keep getting them even though no one clicks on the links. So there's that. Oh, Firebug. Oh, is it the mini AA, the bit that he accidentally streamed? Is that the bit that he put on YouTube? Oh, I thought he put a whole recording up. If it's just the mini bit, that's just funny. Oh, that's funny. Is it still there? I was asking before and people didn't find it, so he might have removed it. Yeah, it is still there. Ah, Capac. I don't think there's much in that. That's pretty funny. That's actually funnier that it's just the little bit. T-Bones, what do you mean ads? I mean, you should have gotten ads at the start because I haven't run any ads recently, so the pre-roll ads are still active. That's how Twitch works. Okay, so pads. Name them probably... 5x5 pad 01. 5x5 pad 02. Oh, the center pad needs the name? 5x5 pad 04. 03. 5x5 pad 02. 5x5 pad 01. Power and data it was called, or something like that. Okay. Let's see how this goes. No, I'm not going to name them after Shadow, Nev, TFE, and Capac and give the pressurized one my name. There's a really good reason for that, which is Capac already says I'm full of gas, or hot gas, or hot air. And then he'd be correct, because that'd be the only pressurized one. Oh, Alastro Alloy, 38. $50, wrong way. $45? How's that worse? It's just making up numbers now. Swear sometimes it feels like they move. I want the alloy trader. So I want to make some cash. And I don't think any of the others are going to make me any money. Oh, I've turned on the I forgot to turn on the pads. Thanks, Sinzamac. Thank you for 14 months. Thank you very much. Yes. If any of you want to see more Stationeers stuff and you want to, like, Shadow Drake does make Stationeers content. Worth checking out someone who knows the game a lot better than me. If that's something you want to see. Come on. Please be quick enough. Please be quick enough. Land. Land! Alright, let's pick pad 4, because that's the one that's most likely to get a crash. Asteroid eats. Cosmo's Convenience. Or do I like a challenge? We're starting with 8, with 13 degrees. We've got 18 minutes. Still 13. Like, we're pretty close. Still 13. I think that made it worse. That's almost certainly made it worse. Blammo inbound, potentially. 20 degrees, yeah, that's so much worse. Nine. Eight. Five. Four, come on. Four. Three. Interrogate. Let's get the 5x5 and see if it crashes. This is going to take a long time to interrogate. Oh man, I hope it crashes. I really hope it crashes. It'll be so good. I know I need a bigger dish. Yeah, obviously. But I've got this now, so I'm using this now. It's fun. Need a lot of lights. While that's interrogating, I might make some lights. It's so... yeah, definitely need the bigger thing. Are you gonna send you a bill for their ship? I don't think so. Like painting the landing pads. Yeah, I didn't think about painting them. Because they've got the little flashy lights on them and I hadn't thought about it. But I might paint yellow around them instead of painting them the actual things.
Hydration critical.
Let's chuck that there. Get rid of these two. And that. Drill goes there. Where is it? Contacted. Cosmos Convenience. Alright. Can I get outside in time? Let's get rid of my need to drink. Make sure I'm well hydrated before this. I think I'm gonna have to watch it from here. But I kinda wanna get outside. I don't know, do I think I can get outside in time? I also kinda wanna wait till morning. So I got 14 minutes. Now, because I've already locked it, I can move to get this Orbit Ops hardware and bring it down on, say, pad 3 or something. $29 is not close enough. Okay. This is being awkward. Come on. What I'm thinking is, if I bring down one of these smaller ones, I can press it and run outside and see if it's gonna be there. Okay, that's much worse. Yeah, this isn't working. Alright. Stuff it. How long till daytime? Where's the moon at? I'm sure there's some way I can use the moon to tell me when day's coming. Hmm. Daylight sensors see how close it is to 90 degrees. Yeah. Might give me enough information. Where is it? I had one up on the roof. There it is. Solar angle. 119. So it's still got a bit to go. 118. Alright, what can I do while I'm waiting? Because if this thing is going to explode, I want to be able to see and have a cool background. Plan B, build a computer outside. Will I lose my lock if I move the computer? You know what? I think I'm perfectly happy to watch it from here. No, I won't lose my lock if I move the computer. Alright, fine. Let's get the computer outside quickly. And we can definitely see what's going to happen. I bet after all this, nothing's going to happen. And it's going to be perfectly fine. And we'll just be happy. Because what other choice do we have? There we go. Now I can hit it and watch it. Set to landing pad 4. Cosmos Convenience 5x5 Trader. Sun is... The light is starting to show on the horizon, I think. Yeah, 103. Let's go check on the water. How cool is the water? In fact, is the water even cool at all? We started at 109 degrees at the start of the stream. We're down to 105, but we've got almost 1,200 liters of water. So cranky. I did put the vertical pad items on the approach vector. That's true. I knew I was doing that. This is not unexpected. I do think... Like, the 3x3 is fine. I do think it's possible I need to extend the pad out one further forward and move all the pads a block forward. But we'll find out. That's the fun. Oh, here we go. Suit light off. Gigantic fireball in the sky. I should be fine to stand here for a while. Yeah, easy. Alright. Here goes. Land. What the... What? Press the wrong keys. Here it comes. It's It's much slower than the 3x3. And it's perfect! No explosions. I'm a bit disappointed. Quite frankly. This guy doesn't even buy anything. Alright. Bye! Oh, oh man, that was so good. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, if someone could clip that, that'd be amazing. Oh, wow. Best outcome ever. Holy cow. Okay. That's so good. Did it run into the mountain or did it run into the tank? If it ran into the tank, surely the tank should have taken damage, right? They're not showing any damage. Ah, too good. Too good. I wonder if these angles will be enough on these lights for them to light up the ground, or if they're just going to shoot straight up in the sky. I should probably test one before I place them all out. But... okay. Alright. Bye! I'm so glad I turned off the HUD. Oh yeah, it 100% hit the mountain. I love that it's got a giant fireball that appears after it. It's perfect. What? Wait, what? I can call him down again? You're kidding me. Yep. Let's do that again. Who needs a clip when we can just relive it? How close does it get on the landing? Oh. Yeah, it gets real close. Yep, scientific method. Does this happen every time?
Hunger caution.
Alright, I should probably drill some of this out. To see if I can get it to clear. So I got 4 minutes of exploding traders to test. It's gonna be like that South American airport? It's got the crazy entry angles because of the mountain. Alright, let's see if that's enough. Or is it Central American? What about the other pads? Are they safe? I figure the number 4 was the worst, so if I can make number 4 safe, then I'll have an idea of how far I need to go with the others. Okay. Let's send you away. Hey, it made it! Okay. Cool.
Jetpack low.
Oh.
Jetpack low.
Yeah, I know, jetpack's low. I'll go fill it in a sec.
Jetpack critical.
Yeah, the other traders never showed up. I don't know what they're talking about. Let's go pad 3. Land. We go one crack at pad 3. This is probably not where I want to be during its approach, but, you know. Oh, okay, that bit's tight. That's kind of cool that it's tight. I like it. I think it's fun. Knowing that every trader has to have a little bit of luck. Every 5x5 trader, anyway. Although, to be fair, I didn't test 3x3s on pad 4 before I tested the 5x5, so 3x3s may well have crashed as well. There we go. Alright, here we go. If it was clipping the tank thing, then it would continue exploding once I removed the mountain. I removed the mountain, it stopped exploding, therefore not clipping the tank thing in any way that matters. Hey! I think we're good. That was some fun testing. And there you go, chat. You finally got your Blammos you were after.
Waste tank caution.
Since everyone was desperate for Blammos. Which I can understand.
Hydration critical.
Let's see how ineffective this light is. Might not be that bad. Might not be that bad. Yes, trying to warp through a mountain is definitely not safe. On that fun note, I'm going to take a quick bio break. I will be back... No, wait, I will eat. I will get my character to eat and drink before I go on my bio break. I think it's probably a good idea. So that you guys don't have to hear the bip 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 thing going all the time. There we go. I will be back shortly. Our records show that both landed and took off successfully. Anything that happened afterwards is clearly not related to us in any way. Yep. Agree. Also, I just got so drenched walking from my shed to my house to try and get a quick snack. There is so much rain. There is only one solution, keep the snacks in the shed. Well, look, if I do that, I eat them all, and then I don't have any left. Oh. Forgot that I need to sell that to this guy. Completely forgot I had him here to make money from. Oh yeah, I should absolutely have a vending machine here, shouldn't I? I need a vending machine. Yes, that is an upgrade. Yes, thank you. I do need a vending machine here. It will make trading much quicker. Ah, so many cables. Mackie, if you go over to youtube.com/Flipsy... Wait, do I have a command for that? Yeah! You'll find the Battle Group Survival playlist with me and Shaq. Which is the long answer to your question, the short answer being yes. Yes, I do. I'm glad you're liking it. Both Shaq and I are really enjoying ourselves in that series, which is... I'm very happy about. For those not familiar, it's me playing Space Engineers with Shaq using Shaq's mod choices, which is a very different way to play. I think you're right. I think I need to use some of these light round angled ones on a tower. On like a little post. So I make streetlights instead, because these don't really work that well. Yeah, more obstacles. Yeah. 1 second, I need to fill up my water bottle. I forgot. There we go. Yeah, I do like how these lights look. And I do kind of like... I'm not upset that they don't light up the pads, but I'm curious if I can light up the pads. A little bit. Where are those walls? Padded wall? No. What? Flat wall. I thought I had flat walls somewhere up there. Maybe I don't. Need to make some. Okay. Flat wall. Give me a couple. And... oh. Now, for my vending machine, I'm trying to think what materials I need to be able to drop into the vending machine so that I can trade them and make money off them. It's predominantly going to be ingots and ores. Burst pipes with a very slow oxygen leak will make a nice light source for the pads. That's what I was hoping. I was kind of thinking, would it let me put these on the back of the pad and put a light on them? So go with that, and then... Can I even stick a light to those? Oh, I can't. Nuts. Alright, so if I want to put a light on these, I have to put, like, a full panel, which isn't allowed there. Okay. Never mind. It's worth testing, I think. So I'd need to put... Any lights I put would have to be back here. And I'd have to go... place the light. I kind of want the angled one, but I also want something that looks alright at the end of a post, so it's probably going to be that. So if I place that, then grind that out, then place my square post. It sort of works, but it doesn't really, and because I can't place another post there, that's how the light's going to look. Which I'm not sold on. It's not the worst, but don't think it's good. Would the wall light look better? Maybe something a little bit larger would actually look better. Right, gigantic. Not sold. I don't like it. Let's try something different. Over here instead. If I'm gonna have probably 5 blocks wide, I guess. If I place that there, then I go one long angled. Probably needs to be there. Then I go and put... Nuts. Can't do it. I was hoping what I could do was place 2 of these, one there, and support it on that, but it doesn't work either. Yeah, there really are basically no light post options. That's sad. Because you can't run cables in line with a pipe to use the pipes as supports either. Because pipes would typically be the way I'd go for something like this, but you can't intersect with these lights. That's sad. Yeah, I guess I'm just kind of stuck with these lights as they are. Which don't look bad, just they don't light up very much. I guess I get some geometric wall and I could put it down here and see how that works with the geometric wall. But yeah, vending machines. Because if I'm just using the... If I'm just selling to the alloy traders and selling alloys to the building traders, then I should be able to set up a chute. And just a single chute around here that goes all the way through to the trading platform, vending machine. So I can dump stuff here and dump exactly how much I need and then go out there with it. Go out there to the trading machine, have the vending machine outside. And then for drop-offs of stuff that I buy, I could put the trading machine here where that thing is. Yeah. Yeah, Zoland, that's a fair point. Just paint the wires black, looking like a thin pole. Yeah. Yeah. Have the little round lights at the top of a thin cable. Certainly a valid option. Might be the option I should go for, actually. I've got a spray gun I made, which I have left somewhere over here. Black. Try black. Try grey. I'm thinking maybe even white is the option that I'd prefer for the cable. Try at least grey first. Boxes are your way to get around nesting. That labeler works on them, makes them very useful. Boxes for plate, boxes for frame. Yeah. Yeah. I probably could use boxes for more stuff than I do. The reason I'm thinking not heavy cable, even though I agree with you the visual weight of it would be better, is heavy cable has the stripes on it. And I think those stripes might draw attention to themselves a little more than I want. In black, maybe not. It depends whether it's the same black, because as we know, a lot of these colors are not the same. Alright, so let's try a couple of light posts. Kind of thinking this light round is the one I'll do. Then grind those out. And cables. I think I'm probably not going to like this. But what's the harm in trying it, really? Yeah, spray gun. Where'd you go? Yeah. Not a big fan. Place a railing under it. Yeah, if it's against a railing, it might work. Let's go get the black. I think I also used the wrong light. I think I did need to stick with the little round one, because that one's just a bit too bulky. Maybe yellow like construction lights. Yeah, if they were if I was building something that was more like a construction area there, I could see that potentially working. And yeah, the black is less obvious. Oh, whoops. Forgot. I think when you paint a color, it takes on that. I mean, it's giving me good area illumination. Thanks, Jay Moran. Thank you for the prime sub. Like a wrought iron spiral. Yeah, it kind of does give that look, that vibe. I'll leave them there for now, and I will see if I come up with something better. Let's get a vending machine. Where is vending machine made? One refrigerated vending machine, please. Alright. Not too bad. There we go. What do you need to build you? Nothing. Okay. I need chutes, though. Oh, that gives me some room to put my frames up. Whoops, wrong one. Okay. I don't think cladding is airtight, no. This, but between the pads, maybe. Oh, yeah. Rather than down this walkway where it does feel a bit strange, maybe between the pads could work. Yeah. Yeah, perhaps. Put one at the back and one at the front of each pad. Yeah. Okay. Not a bad idea. I think I'll build the vending machine here. In at the back, out at the front. Or do I just build it inside? Would it be better if it was just, like, poking through this wall a bit? Maybe that'd be better. I move all this pipe out of the way and I put it there. Because then I can vend stuff that needs to come inside easily. Yeah, let's try that. See if it'll let me. I messed that up.
Filter low.
Okay, then I need to pull this up. Which I'm pretty sure, as far as the sensor goes, it's just being used for the thermometer. Hopefully that's far enough. Oh yeah, there we go. That looks like it's poking through the wall at the right amount. You lied to me, vending machine. You lied to me. Oh, I didn't scroll down far enough. Plastic. Plastic sheets. Right. Get the plastic sheets, and then we've technically got one. Oh no! It has to be data connected to the trading platform, doesn't it? Well, that sure is one gigantic worklight design. I think that's a bit overkill for my plans. Plus, nope, what am I doing? Plastic doesn't get made there. What do you want next? Hooray! Yeah, that's not too bad. Where's my disc? Where did I leave my disc this time? Because it wasn't in the trading computer. I put it in this computer. Oh, I have to dismantle this again, don't I? Because I forgot to remove the display first. Go. Fixed. Alright. Cool. Now, fixing this cabling. Make it make sense. Yep, I put something in a logical spot that made it harder to find. Yay! So the lights facing forward, give them a bend at the top so they face downward. Yeah, maybe. Maybe? I think I was avoiding it because of the way that the curves work, but it could work for some of the different light types. I'll try that out as well. So we need to cut. And this has to go up and over. Which is going to be ugly. So let's see if we can hide it a little bit. So that'll be somewhat hidden in the chute that goes there. And then hooray, I'll have a vending machine. And then I need an awful lot of chutes to get these around near where my ore supply is. Let's think about how I'm going to pass these. Oh no! The cable does block that. Oh, I thought I could pass a straight cable through. I was wrong. I'm going to have to go up. Could go. Yeah, this could work. So that's going to stick through the floor, so there's no point. Go out the side? Where is it going to look least bad? Maybe there. Maybe this. Yeah, I didn't really plan for this part. Did not think this part through. Because this is now going to be visible from inside as well. Maybe if I build as an archway that I walk through, it won't be quite as horrible. Basically, I don't want it visible all the time from inside, and that's probably not going to look too bad. It's functional. If I go straight across, that's probably going to get in the way of my upgrades to this setup. So what I'm thinking is, I need to probably arrive somewhere over here. With the input. You can put stuff inside the floor bits, but I don't like hiding stuff inside cubes, as it feels like a way to completely lose track of something and not be able to find it ever again. And also, if I ever have to fix it or change it, I will depressurize my whole base. I generally consider that to be bad. Can you make chutes while the other one does as well? Do. Do. And then once this is in place, the last thing I need to do for this stage of the trader upgrade is the tower and the new dish. Cool. How many of these am I likely to need? Probably another couple of stacks should get me there, I think. Wow. Yep, the auto lathe does not add much to this process. Nine, and once this is finished, I will stop it. Just grab whatever the other one's got. Which should almost be 10 in a second. Oh no, a little bit off. I'll do. I'm not going to just keep printing these out because I don't need that many. Yeah, I dislike spiral staircases, and I try to avoid making long ones if I can, as some people find it motion sickness inducing for me to go round and round in circles rapidly trying to climb things. It doesn't bother me any, but it definitely bothers some people watching. Oh, I'm planning an elevator for making the tower tall, yeah. The tower's going to be growing. I'm just not sure exactly how much or where yet. But it will be growing. I just thought I'd get these functional bits in first. Since then I can start making some cash and start seeing how much more water I can buy. I did that in the wrong point. Whoops. This should almost be to where I need it to go. Because realistically, I think I probably want to pop it through this wall. But I'll go inside and I'll pop it through where it makes sense from the inside, rather than doing it from wherever it makes sense from outside. Because it's not as big a deal needing to move the ingots, because I can carry so much more in a single handful, compared to moving the stacks of ore. Hello, place that, please. Thank you. Alright, let's go inside. Well, I know I can make an elevator that's pretty quick, so hopefully we won't need music. Also, if the elevator is the only way to access it, it means I have to use one. And I actually will use it. Ah, the pipe singing. Delightful. Okay, so trader input. Can go here. Probably. And we'll see where that is from the outside. I put an output down. No, that was an inlet. What? Oh, I just did it totally the wrong way. Never mind. The singing. The singing! Yeah, I should put a sign above it, 100%. And I'm going to need more than 7 chutes, so let's make another stack. Hey, JMD. Music provided by the Buster Pipe Choir. Yes. What am I doing? What can I do? Oh, run out. Sure. See if 18 is enough. Oh, I was going to make a sign. That's what I was doing. Whoops. Then we go... shoot up. Oh, this is going to be close, I think. Yep. Just 2 left over. Awesome. So I now have a piped up vending machine. Let's go make a sign and let's start putting in coal, copper, iron, and that's probably it because I don't have enough gold to sell it. So I'm going to be stacking that for a little bit. I didn't need sign. Let's make 2 of them. It's so good. It's so bad, actually, that I'm getting used to that sound. And I'm no longer concerned by it. This will be vending input. Centrifuge. Input. There we go. So that's enough iron for this one trader. And I'm probably not going to worry about putting enough in for more than just this one trader for the moment. Same with the copper. If throwing didn't take as long, I would totally throw these in. But it does take a long time for the wind-up. And if I miss... Although I could put a basketball hoop above both of these. And then coal. Eight of those. So we've still got 187 of that. Still got 157 of that and 138 of that. Silicon, I'm sort of getting up to a point where maybe I'd feel okay selling it. Gold, definitely not. Silver would absolutely sell. Nickel would absolutely sell. So I think I'll be able to sell more stuff to the fancier traders. I think the fancier ones buy a few more components. So it'll be nice to get rid of a bunch of nickel. Pick, throw, pick, throw, pick, throw. Yeah. Could do that. Then I'd have to count and keep track of how much I put in there. Although I suppose it doesn't really matter. As long as I go over, it's fine. Not the worst in the world, I suppose. Alright, let's eat that. Pick another potato. I'm gonna need a better kitchen. Eventually. Because I think the hotel guests probably gonna want to eat more than just baked potatoes. Baked in a microwave. Yeah, I need to make a kitchen space rather than just getting an oven. I don't really want to put an oven in that area. Let's go make some money. Sell. 600. 600. And 400. Bye! Okay, now, tower. Let's remove this guy. Put it back in the current tower so I can still use it. Am I going to actually host guests? I don't know. I honestly didn't think I would get this far, so I haven't thought it through. Like, seriously, I did not think I would get this far. Oh, building. Oh! Nuts. Chances of me getting it in that few seconds are pretty slim. Have I seen the waypoint block for landing pads? I haven't really messed around with any of that, to be honest. Oh, I'm so close. Come on, come on. Come on. Come on. It's so not gonna make it. It's not gonna make it. It's not gonna make it. It's gonna make it? Come on, 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 come on. Ah. I was so close. Oh, if only I'd turned the right way on that correction at the end there. I would have had it. Poop. None of these are gonna be ones I can make money off, so don't care. Right. Let's have a look at what I can do for building up my tower. I want some regular walls. Got some frames. Yeah. Yeah. Ah. Yeah, what? I could have my runway going out that way and just have the thing taxi all the way down to a pressurized pad at the other end. The runway doesn't have to run this, like, directly towards my base. So what I was thinking here was possibly building this tower wider and taller. And I'm just trying to decide whether it's worth having steel frames here, at least for the corners of the tower, so it looks a bit more bulky and supported. Whether I just go with walls, and as long as I fill them in, it will kind of look okay anyway. Well, I was actually leaning towards 5 by 5 by maybe 5 tall. Because 3 by 3 will make it quite... I mean, if I used walls, 3 by 3 is probably fine and will look narrower and taller, so it's probably a better way to go. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably better. Like, I think this high up is high enough. Hello, Charlie. Just trying to think about how to do this base, this lowest bit, because what I probably want is to finish this wall off coming down here and have this section where I've got the oxygen tank to become a corridor that joins up around to here. And is part of my pressurized base. I'm just thinking about whether I need to move any of these pipes if I'm going to do that. Have I built that tall? Yeah, I built that tall before. Many moons ago on a Mars base, I built that tall. Because I had my production area underneath my living space. Alright, we'll just do this to give me a bit of an idea for the moment. And then if I walk up the stairs and then the lift starts on this, in this cube here, or even in this cube here, and then I go 3x3 up. Or maybe actually I leave that viewing bit there and the 3x3 tower is this part. So it's lined up with these, so when I look down I can look perfectly in line with them. Yeah. Honestly, I've been avoiding mods in Stationeers for the moment, because the game's about to change so much with the terrain update, and I'm sure a lot of mods will break, so I'm avoiding them. That's why I haven't even bothered looking at the Zoop mod. I know what it does, I just haven't bothered. I am going to make a whole new building for the hotel. It's down the far end of the landing pads. Like, down over there is where I'll build the new building. What I'm building right now is just the control tower for the landing pads. Which is going to be super inconvenient. I mean, control tower that you have to go up a lift to get to, but yeah, it'll be fine. Three. A bit more. Yeah, there are a lot of these mods that are convenient. Zoop, the network painter, that sort of stuff. I'm worried about it. What my plan is for this is to put the dish on the top of the tower. That's my plan. Oh, it's part of me that wants to just open this up now. Close all this in and evacuate it, but I don't think I will. What I will do, however, is flip these around. So they're the ceiling of the other section rather than the floor of this. Go in. It's more... I guess I got gun shy with the mods after the terraforming mod. The challenges Nev had keeping that working for us. Which is totally not fair. Because the terraforming mod was doing a whole bunch of stuff and at a really... We were playing with it at a really awkward time for the game. Phase change was coming. But yeah, I think I just got a little bit gun shy with it from that. And actually no, it wasn't that. It was my letters breaking every single time on Venus. That was why I got gun shy with mods, because I'm like, well, if even my letters keep breaking, I don't really feel super confident that everything else is going to work, so then I become reliant on things that are going to break all the time, and eh. What was I coming inside for? Plastic. I need more. More plastic. I've got plenty of silicon in there, yeah. Got heaps. When you have time, check out the advanced IC page on the Stationeers wiki. There's a section I use to control 10 centrifuges without messing with the stacks. Check the indexing with relative jumps. I don't think that doesn't sound like it solves the problems that I was facing. But I can have a look. I've done the relative jump stuff before. I think I've kind of reached a point with scripting in Stationeers that I'm kind of happy to just sit on what I know for a while. Because I can do most of what I want to do. Like, I got a Larry working, which was probably the biggest achievement I think I've done with scripting. Eh. Oh. You're using relative jumps to change what hash is saved to a register, and then you use that register to call on the specific device. Yeah, okay. I think I understand how you're doing that. Okay. I'm just closing this in just in case I decide to try and connect all this up together. Because it would be kind of nice to be able to get down into my mining area. Come on, where's the spot? There it is. Without having to go outside. Finish off these bits properly. Where's uranium here? Oh, cool, that went in a hole. Nailed it. I didn't think I actually ever had this fully built even before the incident that exploded this part of my base. Maybe I did. Don't recall it. I'll deal with that a bit later. Let's start placing this tower out so I can... 'cause that's the more important area to expand to. So... walls on the outside. Actually, let's try and make this look a little more interesting. If I put the composite window out here, we go another line of walls going up here. can I put one of these guys in there? No! Oh. Can cladding go angled on that bit? Or do I have to get rid of these walls? Which means I have to have the floors complete. Which I guess I can deal with later. Like I can put the detailing on after the fact. But I was kind of hoping to do the top of the tower a bit bigger. Am I going to use a lift? Yeah. 100%. This has to be done with a lift. I can't imagine the annoyance of going upstairs that are too large for this space, I think. The corner ones I'll probably replace with a different type of wall, but that can be done once I have internal ones. So I'm thinking that's going to be my tower. I think it's adequately tall for my purposes. Yeah. It feels tall without it being something that's going to just take a millennia to build. So let's stand on this bit here. Yeah. I think that works quite well. There's part of me that almost wants to make these bits glass floor so I can look down. Or maybe just this side. So I can look down as well. Yeah, why not? Oh, hang on, no. Not the whole bit. Just this one. Middle one. So the one that's looking directly over. And then I can put the computer onto the side, and I can put controls for the thing on the other side. Or I can put the computers all on a wall here, sort of thing. Yeah, I think this will work. I think that should work quite well. Whee! The large dish needs a frame to be placed on. Even if it does, you can place it. You can place the frame, place the thing, remove the frame. So, no biggie. Can command all the traders to crash from there and giggle like a megalomaniac. Yeah, 100%. Well, I feel like I made a good bit of progress today, so I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Knowing that next week I can come into building the medium dish, building up the tower. I might, if I get some time this week, I'll try and get a lot of the placement of the tower done and that side of things so we can get onto the trading a bit more. And then, with the trader placed in, it'll be building runways and building the hotel. And yes, I do think I like the idea of inviting some of you guys to play hotel guests as a bit of a gag for the end, if I get that far. I think that could be fun. To see a whole bunch of people walking around in the hotel. And you're not allowed to wear suits. But yeah, I'll be back on Sunday with Shaq, where we pretty much finished our combat ships Mark II. for going up against the Reavers again. So hopefully we'll be able to get them finished and get back into Reaver space and do some more fighting. That's on Sunday. Then on Monday, back with more Out of Ore with Capac and our helpful crew of truck drivers. So, and maybe even trying to do a little time lapse because I found out I can do that, which is really quite cool. So there's all that and plenty more to come. And I will see you then.